Hi, I'm Jackie.
Teal. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming today and
Of course.
understanding that you're here today to talk about a particular relationship that you're having.
Yeah.
And so basically what we're going to do is you can tell me about your relationship, because relationships can cause many feelings, and we have particular expectations of our relationships and how they do cause feelings. Like if you have a relationship that has some conflict in it or is neglectful, it can often cause negative feelings that are self-defeating and with your interpersonal interactions. Whereas close relationships that are supportive, you feel that support, and it can lead to very positive feelings.
Makes sense.
And I'm going to listen to you about your relationships and give you some feedback, as well as try to look for some patterns of other relationships you have. And you'll also be able to use what we talk about for your future relationships or future potential conflicts with this particular relationship, as well as your other relationships.
Okay.
So, what relationship are you here to talk about today?
I've been having, I don't want to say problems, but my relationship with my manager at work has changed a great deal over the past couple of months, and it's kind of frustrating and confusing, and I just don't know what to do about it.
Tell me more about the relationship, like what in particular has made it frustrating and confusing.
Okay. Well, as of 4 to 6 weeks ago, I noticed that he was acting very quiet and wasn't really saying a lot. And so at first I just, attributed it to him having a bad weekend, and eventually the bad weekend ended up being a bad couple weeks. I was like, maybe he's just going through rough things. That's how I rationalized it in my head. And then after a couple weeks, I kind of stepped back and looked and realized that it wasn't just, it was only with me that I noticed a difference in his actions. So I kind of just assumed that he was angry with me. And I kind of mirrored what he was doing and stopped talking to him at all. At first, normally, I walk into work and I'd be like, hey, how are you? And at first he was just like, good, and he'd walk away quickly, and then after a couple weeks it was kind of more like he just didn't say anything, or he stayed so far away from me that there was not even a chance for me to say hi or any sort of interaction. So
that does sound very frustrating.
Yeah.
When this was happening, how did it make you feel?
I was very confused about it. And also kind of upset. I didn't know why, and I didn't really know what was happening. Like I said, I kind of just thought he was having a bad couple weeks, and then realized that it was only with me. So once I kind of picked up on that, I was again confused. I didn't know why, I didn't know what happened, and then I was also upset. We'd always had I always thought we had a good relationship. We'd always joke around. We always had fun at work. He was one of the easier people to talk to, and I'd been able to talk to him about things that were going on in my life. So I was upset, feeling that not only was I missing communication with a coworker, but also a friend.
How did you handle this situation?
Well, like I said, it kind of went on for a few weeks. It was 4 weeks, and at the end of the 5th week, I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. I need to figure out what's happening, because at that point there was absolutely no communication. It wasn't even a hi and a bye. It was I'm going to stand all the way on the other side of the restaurant for 4 hours so I don't have to even walk past you.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the shift one night, I went up to him and I said, you seem really upset lately, and you've been really quiet. Is something wrong? Are you mad at me? What's happening? So that's how I approached it.
I can tell by your hand motions that this does seem very frustrating for you, and that you are very frustrated.
Yeah.
But when you said he felt like you mirror how people act, did you feel like maybe what you were doing made him mirror your actions, or do you feel like you were mirroring his actions more?
Well, especially after, after I confronted him about it and was trying to figure out, what was happening, he had mentioned that the way he saw it was that I hadn't spoken to him in 3 months. And so at the end of the 3 months, he was kind of just okay, well, it is what it is. So then when I, sorry, let
That's fine.
That's
I'm a little frustrated.
Yeah, it's hard to think back because there were so many things that happened in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Did I stop it?
no, it's still going. So, I talked, basically the conversation went, said, you've been really upset, like you haven't spoken to me. I don't know what's wrong. And he said, the way I've seen it is, you haven't spoken to me in 3 months. And I was very surprised, and my jaw even dropped. I remember it. And I was just like, I have no conscious awareness of the fact that I haven't spoken to you in 3 months. I said, over the past couple of weeks, I've noticed something has really changed in our relationship, and towards the end of it, leading up to right now, when I confronted you about it, I was like, I really felt like you were upset with me, so I just gave you your space and didn't want to make you even more mad. And then I finally got up the guts to say, okay, what's wrong? Because I needed to find out. But prior to that, I didn't even realize that there was an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So
we can talk a little something that are called I statements. And within that, it's more of stepping out from thinking about more of what you could be doing or what you are doing rather than the other person. So in this, you were saying that he was the one not talking to you, that he was acting standoffish, that he was feeling uncomfortable around you. But did you ever think that maybe you could have been giving off that same thing, that you weren't talking to him, like he said that? He said you weren't talking to him.
right.
And that what you could have been doing to make it rather than just him was doing.
Now that I think about it, and now that, you've presented the idea to me, and so has he, I can see that now, and I can see where that would help. Before, I guess I wasn't paying enough attention or didn't really notice enough to know that it started way back when. Maybe it just took a lot more so I can definitely see where, taking responsibility for, because he got really defensive when I started saying, okay, you're angry with me, like, I don't know what's wrong with you. And he got really defensive, and he was like, well, it's actually it's not me, it's you, you're the one who's been, so it wasn't really productive conversation, because by the end of it, like, I was upset and he was angry.
Mm-hmm. So a little homework assignment for what you can do with these situations is, if you feel as though somebody is upset with you or acting weird towards you, you can go up and talk to them and say, what am I doing? Like, is there anything I can do to make this better? Like, is there a reason why you're acting like this because of something I did, rather than just, why are you ignoring me? Why aren't you talking to me? Instead, put it more in a position.
Okay.
What you did.
I can try that, because, yeah, like you were saying before, you're, like, if I look back, it's hard to look back because it doesn't really solve anything, but I guess for the future, knowing that, going into work and being really uncomfortable and upset, it was, like, affecting everything. So maybe if I try not to get so defensive and be more aware of how I'm affecting other people,
Absolutely.
It'll help.
Well, sounds great. Yeah, just think about it more from your position, and think of less what they are doing to you, more what you could potentially be doing for them. And we could talk about it next time in a week or so.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Sounds easy.